And I'm Riley.
In this video, we're in Zinni's Petal, which is a light green petal in your daisy flower.
We will first read her story, and then we will practice being like Zinni, and then we will practice being considerate and caring.
Let's read the story. Zinni's story, the art of sharing. Ring! The bell at Petal Elementary School rang. Through the halls, the flower friends jumped up from their desks. It was time to go to the art room, one of their favorite places in the school. Zinni was especially excited because she loved to draw and paint. She was already thinking about the new picture she wanted to make. It showed all of the flower friends having a party in the daisy flower garden. She burst into the art room ahead of everybody else. She was the first one there. "I'm in luck," she said, grabbing several bottles of paint. She put them in front of her easel with a blank piece of paper on it. "I can get all the colors. I want to make my painting." The other flower friends came into the room. "Oh look, they're new coloring books," Clover said. She picked up 3 of them. Gloria and Jerry each took 2 more. They put down the coloring books on the table by the window and sat down. Rosie rushed over to the cupboard that held crayons and markers. She grabbed a bin and took it to the table by the door. V and Loop did the same thing. Then the 2 groups of flower friends stared at each other. "Wait a second," Clover said. "We need crayons and markers to color in the coloring books." "Well, we need coloring books to use on our crayons," Rosie said. Zinni looked at her friends. None of them were happy. Then she saw a goldfinch standing shyly by another easel that had a painting of a tree on it. The painting wasn't quite finished, only half the leaves had been painted. Zinni glanced down at the bottles of paint in front of her. "Oh, I'm sorry," she said to the goldfinch. "I was so excited about my picture that I took all the paint. That wasn't very considerate of me. We should share. What colors do you want?" "Thank you," the goldfinch said with a big smile. "I'd like the bottle of green paint to add more leaves to my tree, please." Clover and Rosie watched as the goldfinch began painting happily. "Zinni's right," Clover said. "Sharing is the way of caring for your friends." She turned to Rosie. "Rosie, why don't you take one of these coloring books?" Jerry and Gloria both smiled as they held out their stacks of coloring books to V and Loop. "Yes, pick the one you like," Jerry said. Gloria nodded. "After all," she said, "we can only color one picture at a time." "Thanks, Clover," Rosie said. "Do you want some of the crayons and markers? When you're done, we can trade." "That's a great idea," V and Loop said together. All the flower friends sat down to color. "It was so much nicer when we could all paint and get to color together," Zinni said. "And when we're done, we'll have a beautiful art gallery to show our friends and family." The end.
That was a great story.
Yeah, it really was.
So Drew, why do you think that Zinni forgot to be considerate and caring at first?
I think she forgot to be considerate and caring at first because she was super excited to paint.
What reminded her of her promise to act in a considerate and caring way?
She got reminded to act considerate and caring because her friends weren't happy because they both took supplies in separate groups.
The last question, how do you think that the flower friends felt when they shared their coloring books, crayons, and markers instead of keeping them for themselves?
I think they felt very happy and they were very considerate to each other. The next step is a craft. What you need is a soup can from chicken noodle soup, tomato soup, any kind of soup, a rubber band, popsicle sticks, lots of them, and coloring supplies. And for more decor, you can have yarn, glue, pom-poms, anything that you can add onto the popsicle sticks. The next step is to take your rubber band and put it right around your cup, about halfway through. Now, you're going to take a popsicle stick, pull the rubber band away. Do not put your hand inside of the cup. We don't want us to get hurt. Take the popsicle stick and slide it right down until it's at the edge. It should look like this. Now, you're going to put popsicle sticks all the way around so it covers the entire tin. Once you're done with that step, it should look something like this. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take yarn and tie it super tightly to make sure all of them stay in place. Once you tie it super tightly, it should look something like this. Now, tie a bow, wrap it around again, add more layers of yarn, do whatever you want to make sure you think it feels secure. Once you're done with that, please decorate it however you want. You could add beads, pom-poms, yarn, color it, paint it. There are so many different options. Please explore your interests. Now that you're done making your craft, it should look like this, or at least something like it. So, the next step is going to make a flower friend. Now, your flower friend can look however you want. You can draw any flower that you want, any color, any shape, and you attach it to a popsicle stick that you've wrapped yarn around that is green. Mine looks something like this. This is Sunny from our Daisy books. So what you're gonna do is take your flower pot, take your flower, and just put it right inside. And now that she's in there, she'll be in there, and you can be caring for her. So once you're done, that's your craft. I hope you enjoyed. Bye! Now, get in groups of 3 or 2 and come up with a couple ways each of how you can be considerate and caring.
Have fun.
Let's come up with ways to be like Zinni.
We can first care for others, like if someone's hurt, go and check on them and see if there's something that they might need.
Another way is you could be considerate and caring by sharing your coloring supplies or by helping others pack up or help them do something that they need help with. There's a coloring page in the description below. Please print it out and color it with your Girl Scout friends. Please do not take all the coloring supplies and share just like Zinni did.
The last step in earning Zinni's Petal is to actually practice being considerate and caring. One way you can do that is you can count how many daisies are at your meeting, and then count how many snacks you have. How many snacks can each daisy have if you want to make sure everyone gets some.
Another way is set up tables with paper, crayons, markers, and paints. Start drawing pictures. Ask an adult to ring a bell every 5 minutes. When the bell rings, trade whatever you're using to make your drawing with the daisy friend sitting right next to you. Have fun seeing how your picture changes with the different art supplies.
Thus, the last thing that you can do to practice being considerate and caring is think of 3 different ways that you can be considerate and caring at home, at school, or in your daisy group. Talk about it with someone in your family. Draw a picture of you doing these things and put it somewhere that you can see it to remind you to do it every day.
Now, pull out the pipe cleaner you've had for every meeting. Take your light green bead, which is Zinni's bead, and slide it right on.
Once you're done, it will look like so.
I hope you had a great meeting. Bye.
Bye.